edition of Newspaper Headlines, and we're going to start with the Nigerian Tribune. The leading story in front of the Nigerian Tribune is the face of good governance, and that has to do with some of Governor Adeleke's unprecedented achievements in the last 3.5 years of his administration. You can see the pictures there in front of the Nigerian Tribune. And the top part of it, also you will see Otedola targets controlling stake in First Holdco after investing 600 billion naira. And also Tinubu approves salary increase for armed forces personnel. And the last leading story that we're going to take from the front of the Nigerian Tribune says bad road in advertorial constructed under Oyetola's government, not Adeleke's Ocean government, clarifies. Those are the leading stories in front of the Nigerian Tribune. Next is The Matrix. The Matrix newspaper, the leading story says federal government boosts fight against insecurity. Tinubu approves up to 80% salary increase for soldiers, 25,000 military personnel across all ranks to benefit, and also new salaries to commence on the 1st of September. There you have it again, another leading story. Allegation of misconduct. Police invite VDM, that is Very Dark Man, summon AIG Jimo. Court throws out NDC suits challenging portion of Electoral Act. And also the picture, there is a picture of the Minister of Defense, General Christopher Gwabin Musa, in a warm handshake with the Minister of Education, Tunji Alausa, after a meeting to discuss the safety of Nigerian students. Still from the front of the Matrix newspaper, the top part of it says Customs and SW Secretariat will roll out Maritime Manifest phase, push digital trade reform. And still from the front of the Matrix, attack on Onaikon, Amechi bombs presidency, defends Catholic bishops. And also says religious leaders have right to criticize government. Catholic laity weighs in, says Onaikon's comments not meant to embarrass the federal government. From the down part of that newspaper, Sheikh Kuti denies storming out of Pela's wedding, and also Wike, religious leaders took sides in 2023 elections. FIPC DG at undisclosed location, and also the date has not been stated. And the businessman explains how he paid 400 million naira for a contract. Stop new loans until revenue improves. Ex-YFM DG Expo tells federal government. Oyetodola eyes over 50% stake in First Holdco, says he invested over 600 billion naira in the bank. And also Nigeria to lose over 50% of UK aid as US Europe/foreign assistance. Now, the top part of the Vanguard newspaper, Tinubu approves pay rise for 250,000 armed forces personnel. And also, I walked away from power rather than compromise my integrity. Ebora Jolo is the one saying that. Delta unveils roadmap to unlock 3,000 megawatts potential. That is it from the front of the Vanguard. That's the Vanguard newspaper. Now we're going to take a look at the front of the Matrix. Or shall I say, I beg your pardon, the Guardian newspaper is next. Before we move over to that, dailies. The Guardian newspaper, the leading story, 57 state universities, others in limbo over selective implementation. And also, Wike defends Tinubu's reforms, dismisses Obi and Atiku's ambitions. Still from the front of Vanguard, the Guardian, PFIPC contractor tells reps he was scammed by Adeyemi after paying 400 million naira. Tinubu unveils major military welfare package, 80% rise for soldiers, and also police shot Abuja Stadium over security threat. Still from the front of the Guardian newspaper, you have it that 21 feared dead, 37 abducted as bandits raid Sokoto and Plateau communities. ADC ruler Sowore faults state police bill. That's the process of the bill over transparency and timing. WAFCON says federal government's unkept $100,000 promise rocks Super Falcons camp. Well, that is it from the front of the Guardian newspaper. We'll take a look at the Leadership newspaper. The front of it says military minimum wage hits 187,000 naira as Tinubu approves 30 to 80% pay rise. And also, while we suspended 3 local government chairmen, this one's coming from the Kano State Assembly, and also Wike bans Keke Okada from Abuja city centers, cites security concerns. 39 killed, 37 abducted, 19 communities displaced in Sokoto bandit attacks. And also, Nigeria banks reassures customers of global cyber attacks, that is as it intensifies. Police reinstates AIG's Igwe Owohunwa, 473 other officers after court judgment. Then from the top part of the leadership newspaper, it says AIG Jimo under probe over very dark man's allegations. PFIPC scandal, I paid so-called DG 400 million naira for a contract, says private firm MD. That is it from the leadership newspaper. Coming up next is the Daily Trust newspaper. From the front of the Daily Trust newspaper, many fear dead as gunmen attack Sokoto again. Tinubu raises salaries of armed forces personnel, and also Phantom Council will quiz Adeyemi privately, says the reps panel. On icon to presidency, we have spoken, we await changes. Those are the few leading stories from the front of the Daily Trust newspaper, which is the newspaper you can trust. But before we now move over to the next newspaper, Indimi seeks to join appeal against $43.5 million award to daughters. Why Kano Assembly suspended 3 council chairmen, and flood kills security personnel, teenager in Yobe State. Published bad road built under Oyetodala Osun State government. They're the ones saying that. Now moving over to the Daily Times newspaper. The Daily Times newspaper leading story says NICOMSAT MD accepts DTN at 100 Enterprise Award. Credits team for digital gains, says honor reflects transformation, innovation, and also national service. From the front of the top part of it, that's the Daily Times newspaper. Reps vote on state police bill lacks transparency, inclusion, says ADC. And also Nigeria matches US as AI adoption among firms jumps to 40%. World Bank is the one saying that. And Tinubu approves salary increase for armed forces. Wage rises from 660 billion naira to 924 billion naira. So that is it from the front of the Daily Times newspaper. In case you're just tuning in, you're watching newspaper headlines from Frontline TV. We're now going to continue. And the next leading story from the next newspaper, which is the New Telegraph, says Tinubu okays salary increase for 250,000 armed forces personnel. And there you can also see the down part of it. On icon on State of the Nation, Church has duty to speak the truth to power. Catholic Laity Council, they're the ones saying that. And also PFIPC probe. I paid Adeyemi 400 million naira for fake 2 billion naira contract. This one is coming from a contractor. And drama as soldiers, Osun local government bosses clash over illegal mining activities. Soludo, I have successfully ended Monday's stay at home in Onitsha. The top part of it says PMS increased demand in Europe to boost Nigeria's exports to 300 billion naira in 1 week. And still from the front of the New Telegraph, it's time Nigeria deliberately prepare young people for leadership. This one is coming from Abbas. And also federal government's orders VCs, rectors, provosts to expel students involved in abductions. Nigerians affected as US introduces new asylum rule for foreign applicants. And also Economic Summit, Oboy Verovi reinforces Delta's commitment to diversification. So that is it from the front of the New Telegraph newspaper. Coming up next is the Punch newspaper. From the front of the Punch newspaper, the leading story there says military salaries hit 924 billion naira as Tinubu approves the pay rise. 250,000 military personnel to enjoy 30% to 80% salary increase. Retired generals back Tinubu's military pay upgrade, demand modern weapons, and also we will continue to prioritize troops' welfare and modernize the armed forces. That's one's coming from the president. DHQ reopens surrender window for Southeast gunmen. Police summons very dark man, quiz AIG over allegations, and the down part of it says 2027 ADC fires back as Wike dismisses Amichi's Rivers influence. Robbers shoot LASU graduate during attack on POS operator, and also federal government unveils Almajiri reform, bans street begging. Then from the top part of the Punch newspaper, fake agency probe fed reps to grill controversial DG at undisclosed location. One will ask why. And also doctors suspend strike as presidency broker, that is, as presidency brokers truce. And this one is coming from Umahi saying federal government votes 2.5 trillion naira for Abuja, Lokoja, Enugu, and Port Harcourt. Well, that's 122 roads. Well, there you have it. We have been sampling newspaper headlines, and it came to you from Front TV, bringing news to your front view. Thanks for watching. We'll be coming again next time with another interesting package. My name still remains Moses Calvin, your anchor. Do have a wonderful day. Bye for now.
Hello friends, welcome to yet another edition of Frontline Sports on your Frontline TV. I am Uncle Sam. You are welcome to this edition. Let's start first with a trip to Morocco. As the 2026 Women African Cup of Nations gains momentum in Morocco, the defending champion Nigeria Super Falcons has suffered a humiliating defeat in the hands of the first-timers Malawi. In their first group match, Nigeria lost 3-2 to the Malawian girls. It was a barren first half. Malawi scored 2 goals in the space of 6 minutes in the second half before Ajibade converted a penalty and gave Nigeria a 2-1 redeem. Malawi made it 3 in the 90-plus minutes, while Carlo gave Nigeria her second goal 2 minutes after. Watch how it went. Concerning her action in the just concluded FIFA World Cup 2026. Yes, FIFA will investigate the Argentine political protest concerning the Falkland issue. FIFA will also investigate the misconduct of some Argentine players, talking about Leonardo Paredes. He was captured on camera grabbing Eric Garcia by the throat, and also another guy to be investigated by FIFA include Nahuel Medina. He was also seen mishandling another fellow. Well, let's see how it all will go. Not forgetting that, yes, FIFA will be fined. Let's give you the more of the story. Other guys to be investigated by FIFA included Roberto Ayala. Don't forget Enzo Fernandez was showed the red card while in the game due to his violent charge against his fellow Spaniard player. But, well, let's see what could be the sanction. Players who are involved in this manner could be sanctioned for 1 match, well, or maybe 3 matches. The FIFA might also hammer Argentina and ask them to pay fine for that unruly behavior. Well, winning the World Cup was not easy for Spain, but actually they defeated Argentina to pick that trophy. Let's come back home to Nigeria and see what football looks like. Yes, another Nigerian super striker, talking about Tolu Akorodare, has joined the Dutch Premiership side Ajax Amsterdam on a loan from Wolf. The 25-year-old player was said to have disrupted a training session for Wolves Wanderers when they asked him not to be part of the team anymore. So in that hullabaloo that followed, yes, Tolu was also given out on loan to Ajax Amsterdam for the rest of the season. Well, let's come back home in the Nigerian Premiership. In the Nigerian Domestic Premiership League, the prize money for the next season prize money will be big enough to choke a horse. Of course, it will be big enough to choke 2 horses because NFF says it's going to be a 1 billion naira cash out if any team wins that. Yes, the winner will take home 1 billion naira. The kickoff for the next season will be between the weekend of August 27 to August 29 in 2026. That is by next month. Don't forget, these new promoted sides are also in need for the Premiership in Nigeria for the next season. Who are these newly promoted sides? We talk about Sporting Lagos, Inter Lagos, Ranchers B are back into the Premiership. And of course, Doma United will also be playing in the elite class. Those teams that are not going to play in the elite class anymore for the season includes Bayelsa United, they were relegated, Wiki Tourists relegated, and of course, Remo Stars, who won the trophy 2025-2026, they are now going back to this lower division. And another big thing you also understand in the next season is that for 2025-2026 winners, Rangers of Enugu, yes, they have a new striker which they purchased from Doma United. His name is Stephen Jassam. Stephen Jassam will not play for Doma for next season, but he will play for Rangers. Both of them are playing in the elite circle in the Nigeria Premiership. Kwara United has 10 new signings while returning 20 players from the last season. Nasarawa United also has 17. Don't forget I said earlier, Kwara United has 10 new players while Nasarawa United has 17 players. And then Kennedy Baboyo and Ladan Boso, they are still the coaches for both Bendel Insurance and Barao FC of Nigeria. Rangers International of Enugu and Remo Stars, they have agreed for a common venue for their upcoming Champions League series for the next season. Let's see what is happening in Europe. Yes, in the mainstream Europe, La Liga. The upcoming season for La Liga will be one that will see so many new players in Real Madrid. Cucurella will be playing in the left back from his purchase from Chelsea. Denzel will be from right back, his purchase from Inter Milan. Ibrahim Conte will be playing from center back, he purchased from Liverpool. And of course, Bernardo Silva, he is at the right wing or attacking midfielder. He was purchased from Manchester City. That is not all. Also, Real Madrid also got Endrick. Endrick also, they got him from Lyon in France. Don't forget, defending midfielder Rodri from Man City will join Real Madrid on a free transfer. The new coach for Real Madrid, talking about Jose Mourinho, is back to Real Madrid for a contract that is expected to last